Last month's Word of Life has taught us how to be humble by giving up our egos and giving space for Jesus to follow and learn from Him.
That's right. You know what else makes us humble?
I think I have an idea. It is when we suffer. Do you still remember those times you suffered so much it made you cry?
I cry when I feel sad, alone, or when my friends leave me out for some unknown reason.
Me too, but I believe it's okay to cry sometimes. This Word of Life from November is an interesting one. It says, "Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted."
It is consoling to hear that. Let's understand it better. From the Bible, we know that Jesus himself cried. In the Gospel of John, Jesus wept seeing those he loved cry after witnessing the death of Lazarus, his close friend. In Luke, Jesus sees the city of Jerusalem and cried when he saw the sins of humanity at that time. And in the letter to the Hebrews, Jesus sheds tears while praying in the garden before his crucifixion.
Yes, and even though the Lord Himself cried, He is always there to welcome anyone with open arms to heal them. Many people flock to Jesus for consolation.
Really? Who are these people who flock to Jesus?
Many, like the sick or poor, widows, orphans, sinners, or people rejected by the society. Jesus, seeing these sufferings, wants our hearts to be healed, our loneliness to be filled, and our weakness to be strengthened. Chiara Lubich once commented on this. She said,
With these words, blessed are those who mourn, they will be comforted. Jesus is not saying to have an attitude of resignation and just wait for a reward in the future. Jesus is rather talking about the present, the here and now. In the present, His kingdom is already here, even if not definitively so. In the present, Jesus has already overcome death by rising again after His crucifixion. In the present, He, the Father, and the Holy Spirit live in us. And so, with this faith, we can already experience the happiness that Jesus promised.
so, Chiara is saying that sufferings don't just disappear, but they are real. However, if we practice Jesus' advice, we can experience new energy to face the trials of life, new strength to overcome sufferings, new courage to help others who are suffering, and new eyes to see pain as a way of saving the world, just as Jesus did.
This word of life reminds us of one girl named Chiara Lubich and how she lived her suffering like Jesus. When she was 17, while she was playing tennis, Chiara Lubich felt a very strong pain in her shoulder. It was the first symptom of her illness, but she didn't back off. She was more than ever convinced that God is love, and that even in this moment, He loves her immensely. From the many testaments which have been collected, it seems clear that only once did she ask why she had to suffer so much. After the first operation, she exclaimed, "Why, Jesus?" But a few seconds later, she found the answer herself. "If you want it, Jesus, then I want it too." In fact, one day she said to her mother, "Everything finds its right place, even in the most difficult times, if I offer it up to Jesus." And she wrote this to Chiara Lubich. This illness came just at the right moment. Who knows? Without it, I may have lost my way. The only thing that's important to me is the will of God, to do it well in the present moment, playing along with God's game. Chiara Lubich was a girl like everyone else, but by living for God alone, for the goal of a united world, She achieved the happiness that never ends. She was happy, really full of joy, and the church has declared her blessed. A good title for her because it means happy.
How about us? Do we know of other episodes in the Bible where Jesus suffered and cried? How did he deal with that situation? How about around us? Do we find neighbors who are mourning? How do we help comfort them?